Sorry about that. I was muted. But hello and welcome to every one of you in radio and TV land, our Liberian people, and in the diaspora. Today is another edition of the Vote 24 TV Kakis Dialogue. And we are basically going to be looking at issue in the media, specifically what is obtaining with uh, famous Liberia economist Samuel Jackson on the death of his wife, his beloved wife. There are issues that are popping up, and before we move into it, I would like to give the space to Professor Kofa to just make his introductory comment, and then we can continue from there.
Oh yeah, Comrade, thank you. It's good to be back to join you this evening from the beautiful shore of Oklahoma, so that we can share light and share ideas with respect to issues that are unfolding in the mother's land. And so it is my pleasure to once again join you and that we can share the time together. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll just play for you briefly how Sam Jackson explained the loss of his wife. The economist Samuel Jackson just lost his wife like few hours ago, and he had a he seemed very disturbed loss, but he was able to communicate with Spoon and narrating how everything happened to the best of his knowledge, and, and he was basically to state his own side of what he knows. And I mean, the good thing that he was engaged with the media, sometimes immediately. And so that statement from Mr. Jackson is a statement that could be part of whatsoever investigation that may arise from this. But I'll play statement. We can just listen to the statement and just make our observation with respect to what Mr. Jackson said. But it relates to the death of his wife. And let's listen to Mr. Jackson statement. Okay.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Come on. Say
Oh,
fucking just stop her here. Don't have a rap.
that's the video I'm trying to play. Let me find a different one. So I wanted to get his narrative on how his wife death occurred. So let me look for this video quickly. Yeah. I am not seeing the video. Yeah, I'm not seeing the video, but maybe we can play no, I got it. Oh no, that's not it. Uh okay, I got it. So let's play this video quickly, and it's an interview that he had.
Everyone just really the passing of their life. What way to have some medical conditions that will make her on a regular basis to have seizure. Okay. That situation has happened over, and I have the medical reports from New York City, where the plane was full ended, and she was taken on the plane and taken to Jamaica on December 23rd at the medical record. And prior to that, in July or August, she fell out in McDonald's and I called 911. Then on Monday, she was in the bathroom. She had a seizure. I was there to control her. Yesterday, I had a radio program, OKFM. I left my house at about 8:20, and I told my wife I was going to come back and shopping because there was a wedding today in Africa. My cousin came. Before I even came, I called around 10 o'clock ready. I the coke. She probably was sleeping or something like that. I said, oh shit, okay, oh, whatever. I see my wife laying down on the edge of the bed like this, in a pool of blood, falling semi-conscious or unconscious. That's what I call my employee, took from downstairs and everybody. She was totally naked. They had a book clothes, we took off the cap leg, they did her, then they found out that she had a some like a fall to the head or something, okay? And then
When are we coming? At what time?
I came back around about 10:20. So we got a cap just about 10:30. found out that there were no brain surgeon in the country because the doctor Catholic said there's only, I think, one or two brain surgeons, and Dr. Alvin Doe was the closest. So we no ambulance in the area. And actually, the the Catholic hospital ambulance broke down. So I had to get one that took 45 minutes all the way from the zone. We took her, was bleeding profusely, and she was unconscious. We took her to Kennedy last night, her, and overnight she didn't make it. That's what happened. And,
before everyone just woke up to the news, the passing of their life. What
make her
So,
on a
coming listen
basis
to
to have
the
seizure.
this statement, Mr. Jackson. What do you make of it?
I think you should also bring the police reaction then with your package, everything. So, I mean, let me with the
Yeah, I want for us to. I want to
okay,
I mean,
yeah.
we can
So
look at
the
it to see
statement
where anything is
itself,
questionable, there.
well, absolutely. In my opinion, I think it raises suspicion. Okay, in my opinion, he said before then his wife had a seizure in the bathroom. He was there, and so he was able to arrest the situation. And the following morning, he had a radio talk show program that he was going to, and when he returns to take his wife for shopping, and then within that time, so the question is, okay, so this is this is seizure thing. So the seizures can happen, and someone can be stabilized, and then once they take their meds, they can be okay. All right. So whether when he before he left, whether the wife was doing okay or she was still not feeling good. Then the other point is, if you found your wife in a pool of blood, lying either semi-conscious or fully conscious, or unconscious rather, semi-unconscious or fully unconscious, and she was in a pool of blood, I think it raises a kind of rebuttable presumption of some foul play, and so which may trigger investigation. It doesn't hurt, all right, to investigate such a matter. If no crime is committed, fair. But where people have doubt that blood, she was lying in the pool of blood. What happened to the blood? Did she fall by herself? Did somebody cause? There are a lot of unanswered questions. And so I think there is a presumption there that need to be clear.
Yeah, sure. There's certainly a lot of questions that can be raised. Of course, these kinds of uh, uh, take place. Uh, police, the police has to investigate every homicide to make sure that there isn't any kind of foul play. To suggest in any way that uh, Mr. Jackson is guilty or murder. As much as there is a situation with his wife is in the obligation to be able to get what is obtaining. But from his statement, he tries to establish that this his wife has a medical condition, and he tried to catalog events where he have experienced seizure. Then he came down to the an issue recently. He said she had seizure in the bathroom, but he was there. Apparently, if his statement, his wife has a medical condition, he as a husband would know it, and to an extent, the rest of the public wouldn't know
Yeah.
because people don't know explaining their medical condition all around. And why, especially people with those kinds of conditions, you don't see them being very lively. People with those medical condition, because at any time it can hit you, and once it hits you, you are down. The next morning, people see you and they notice that, oh, you condition. You don't really have a lot, and you want to always be mindful. So at the so he basically tried to establish that land that his wife has a medical condition, because she has a medical condition. It was possible that she would trip, she will fall at any time, and then having
Yeah,
established
but
that
I
this
agree.
is the condition and these things have happened, then he came to the situation actually happening. That
So let put it this other
go
way.
ahead.
All right. We agree that there may be some pre-existing condition in terms of the, medically. All right. But
Yeah.
the circumstances surrounding the death, to the extent that she found the wife, you know, to lie. And I think that I listened to one of, I think that the same interview, I think he said he sent one of the either the cook or somebody to check on his wife, and then the person went and they met the wife, or something, and he ran from that place and went there. But the fact of the matter is, the wife was in the pool of blood. I think any reasonable person will agree that if your wife who
So
you left
so you
at
want us
home,
play that clip, that part again, because
yeah, you can play it again.
The baby came. I got the nation ready. I make her on a basis to have seizure. Okay, it's happened over so many times, and I have the medical from New York City, where the woman was first landed, and she was taken up the plane and taken to Jamaica General Medical Weapon. Okay. And prior to that, it was in July or August, she fell out in McDonough, Georgia, and I called 911. This week, on Monday, was in the bathroom, had a seizure. I was just with her. Today, I had a radio program at OKFM, my 820. And I told where I was going to come back and take on shopping because there was a wedding day. So she get an outfit for my cousin's wedding. When came before I even came, I called around 10 o'clock to make sure she's ready. I told the cook to go and knock on. She said she's probably sleeping or something like that. I oh shit, okay, whatever, man. So I came in, I see my wife laying down on the edge of the bed, this a pool of blood, falling semi-conscious or unconscious. That's when I my to come and get her. Everybody ran down, dispatcher from downstairs, and everybody. She was totally naked. They had a foreclosure Catholic. They did some tests on her. Then they found out that she had a brain injury, probably from some like for fall to the that. Okay.
And when I was studying?
Yesterday.
At what time?
I came back around about 10:20. So we got a capture about 10:30. But then there was no brain surgeon in the country because the doctor, Catholic said, there's only, I think one of these year, and Dr. Alvin Doe was the closest, right? So we, no ambulance in the area. The one last street, in the Catholic, the Catholic hospital, ambulance broke down. So I had to get one at 2:45 minutes all the way from the king.
So you heard that, Bo? He called to the house for the cook to check, and the cook knocked the door and said maybe she's sleeping, but they not open the door. All right. So he had to run from the place he left the place when he came. Now he go open the door. Then the woman is in a pool of blood. Even in the United States where we are, such a death is subject to investigation. You know, it's subject to investigation, especially with the information that Sam Jackson and his wife just opened a business in Liberia, I think some car business. So these are all presumptions, rebuttable presumptions that need to be clear. And so when the police want to move in to investigate the death of his wife, I think in my wisdom, it should happen. You know, if a murder happened under suspicious circumstances, the state has the authority to know why, whether it's a homicide or a natural cause. Was there a laceration to the hair, or it was that the blood came as a result of internal bleeding, any kind of mark on her or something? It was to be investigated. Absolutely. Mm. Hospital before, medical records.
can show that his coke to go and check the phone record. He also said that he called his wife and show if they probably might have talked for 1, 2, or 3 minutes because he told her that he was come to take her somewhere and stuff. So all of those are possible lead established. Now we have a situation where police decide to move to Mr. Jackson's house. They decided to move to Mr. Jackson's house, which made him very furious. Very furious. He was insulting them. He thought that they shouldn't move to his house in the manner in which they did. So let me play a clip and then let's look at it and see whether or not the police actually uh, whether or not the police actually did in the manner in which they approached Mr. Sam Jackson.
Okay. Take it easy. Gregory Comer sent his fucking jumper here to harass a man who's look at the fucking Gestapo standing in my fucking yard. Look, take it easy. Okay? Arrest me. I got my toothbrush in my face. This is Gregory Comer Gestapo that he sent to my wife just died. This is fucking. Look at them. Look at the Gestapo. This is a fucking Gestapo. Gestapo. Let me Gestapo. These are Gestapo that came here to harass me. Look at Gregory Coleman Gestapo. Look at Gestapo. Around my house, and my wife just died. A fucking Gestapo. They're fucking Gestapo. They're fucking Gestapo. Fucking Gestapo. Gestapo. Oh, for that. These are fucking people. Yeah, you look at it. You take it easy. You just arrest. I understand. Yeah, but stop doing what you do. I know about it. There's another Gestapo over here. These are fucking Gestapo.
I think he's angry about the manner in which the police came to his house. What's your take on it, Komekova?
Well, so what's going through my mind is first, is he refusing the police entering and having access to where the purported crime has been committed for them to secure the place, and whether the police believes that the crime, the commission has taken place, that it is so imminent that they don't think that they need the time to obtain a warrant to go and search evidence of the committed crime would have been destroyed. So they thought to move in and secure the place to preserve evidence. So, but assuming that the police believe that if for any reason they may they may wait longer, and if they believe that a crime has been committed, and to wait will create an opportunity for the perpetrator to to make sure that they clean up the place and then destroy evidence, and they want to move in to have the place reserved. I think, even though the Constitution provides for warrant search, but overall, there are still exceptions to the warrant search, where when the police believe that evidence of the crime being committed, exigency circumstances, the evidence will be destroyed. Police can move in, and it's an exception to the warrant requirement. So whether it was under that kind of authority that the police were acting, and if that was the issue for Mr. Jackson to prohibit police entering the premises, and to buy empathy and sympathy from the public, I don't think it's a good thing to do. If the police want to investigate and they are acting within the confine of the law, they should do it. You know.
Yeah. So I think you are right. You are right about your observation. But I'll just see this because it's on the issue of exigent circumstances. They could evade the issue of warrant. Uh, but in this case, this lady has already been taken away, gone to the hospital, and I think she had already been pronounced dead. She had already been pronounced dead. Uh, so they remove that exigent circumstances away. And so the best approach for the police would have been to get a warrant, and or otherwise, just move to carry on just simple investigation, inquiry into what happened to the lady. So I mean, that investigation could happen anywhere. Maybe police is present at the hospital. They could ask anybody question at the hospital to find out what happened. They could ask the cook. They could ask whosoever is at the place that is willing to provide information. And those are things that are really possible. You know, you
So I was looking at the Liberian Constitution. It said the Liberian Constitution also explicitly lists its own exception within the same article. A search or seizure is permissible without a warrant if the authority acts during the commission of a crime. So you may be right. The commission. So what is the time frame? Does it mean that the death of the woman concluded the commission of the crime, or that from the point where she was found in the room in the pool of blood up to the point to the hospital, that time frame constitute the time frame of the crime being committed? So this is kind of left with a kind of constitutional
yeah
because it's ambiguous, for it to be like when the crime is come on, what is the play? When it says that oh, come on. Just a second, Bo. When it talks about when the crime is being committed, all right. So yeah, it say the authority act, if the authority act during the commission of a crime. So at what point the crime has been committed? From the time that the Mr. Jackson found his wife unconscious and took the wife to the hospital and the wife died. Is that a commission? Is that a time frame that they thought they didn't need? And I agree with you too. If the crime has already been committed and now you want to investigate, then the right thing to do is to obtain a search warrant. All right, a search warrant to go into the premises to see. But again, from the time the crime has been committed up to obtaining a search warrant, the possibility of cleaning up and discarding evidence is also high, assuming that a crime has been committed.
Yes, certainly, certainly. But sometimes people try to wipe out the and that only put them in more problem, because when you make an attempt to wipe out the evidence, then you open up yourself to thorough investigation, because the police is going to be questioning now why or what was the motivation for what the evidence. So
But Comrade, you know that if somebody died in a home and a pool of blood left there and they took that person to the hospital, definitely they're not going to leave the blood there to say police will come. They're going to wipe that place,
yeah, especially when the people at the house are not aware fully that the person died. if
Okay.
if the person died in the home, that's a
Hmm.
different case. Then you want to say,
Yes.
oh, let's call police first. But this person was taken to the hospital. So people who left back in the house, especially the maid, they might want to,
Clean up.
move ahead with cleaning. The problem that I have in our country is that police don't treat every individual the same. They don't treat every individual the same. This is Sam Jackson wife. Police is raising issue about how she died. They want to know whether she was murdered or not. But does that happen to ordinary people?
No.
It doesn't happen with ordinary people. Some people die, from where we keep. People would die and just go and bury people. Don't
Absolutely.
police come
Like,
to make any investigation.
like
You
I was
understand?
telling you, the
So
two priests that died,
yeah, so in the minds of ordinary Liberians, if somebody project to them this is a witch hunt, this is an attempt to attack me and put me in prison, then it very quickly as such, because they will remember that some time ago their family member passed and they did not get such attention from police. So if they see police barricading Samuel Jackson home, the interpretation was strange. This is strange.
I agree. I agree. It can be approached from two other ways. Is like, okay, this guy he been bad muffing this government. We have been looking for a way to deal with him. Now that his wife died in this kind of manner, we can use this situation to terrorize him a little bit. You understand? But
Sure.
in ways, it still does not negate the fact that the state cannot investigate. All I would advise Mr. Jackson to do, they he has not been convicted. It's just to investigate. They have no evidence of establishing that he is the one who killed his wife. Let him secure a lawyer, a team of lawyers, and let him allow the government to go through the investigation. If his hands are clean, it will be exonerated. But it doesn't help him when you are in the public and just attacking and also buying sympathy and empathy from the public. I don't think it goes well. Even in this country where we live, your husband can die or your wife can die. When the police are carrying on the investigation, they empathize with you, but that doesn't rule out the fact that they will not take you to the station for questioning, especially
Sure.
when death, when the circumstances under which the person died, kind of present and up, a kind of saying that a crime has been committed, they will definitely invite you for questioning.
Sure. And they have this homicide division, and they have this criminal detective, criminal investigators who can go on these kinds of things. I mean, you don't need to carry PSU. You don't need to carry PSU. You can ensure that that man does not escape, even by deploying plainclothes officers around his area to monitor his movement. But the presence of PSU was too much. It sent a very negative uptake. Let me play the police spokesperson.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. I mean, the crime investigation. Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, so let me play the spokesperson. Somebody was complaining that the man were having cell phone in hand.
So, a pleasant good evening from Monrovia to welcome all of you at in Old Road.
An incident took place. In fact, it was an Mr. Jackson and the police bring the interest on became hostile and turn it down. Police interest almost a situation.
At his residence in Old Road. What prompted the police deployment at Mr. Jackson's residence?
Well, like you said in the intro of your question, as it relates to police deployment, I don't know when you refer to deployment, about police at the home of Mr. Jackson, because we are talking what I refer to as an active almost a situation occur overnight at the home of Mr. Jackson, and the police have uh, requested that he, with this ongoing investigation, something that he agreed to initially, but later on hostile, and turn it down. Police investigators have gone in to the scene of the investigation, and so because of his client's posture put up this evening, the police will remain deployed at the scene because he has been declared as a person of interest, and we also see him as a flag race, meaning that he's somebody that can escape the country at any time. And so, because he have turned down a peaceful uh, invitation extended him by the national police, we will remain on ground until finally he can accept our to come over to the headquarters of the Labrador National Police.
Um, where are we now with respect to this entire process? Because you just mentioned an active homicide investigation
Yeah.
that's ongoing. Where are we now? Is going pretty close to maybe 18 or 20 hours since the pronouncement was made.
Well, like you said initially during the beginning of this interview, you talk about the problem. I assume I agree to that. Yes, indeed, we have officers deployed in the home or the vicinity of the home,
And we got notice that an incident took place. In fact, it was announced by Mr. Jackson, and the police paid their interest in his on his official social media page. We visit the GFK along with representative of Mr. Jackson, and we also have representatives coming from the South African embassy, and we also have the coroner from Osceola County. An initiation was seen on the crops of the body, and we observed a very deep laceration on the crown of the head. That is the crown of the head of the deceased. And so we got interested in the carry on further investigation, and we saw what appeared to be this on the crops of the body that
Bruises?
yeah, that show some form of domestic assault. And so we asked what actually led to the death of the lady who is indeed assault.
Now, with everything that's happening now, Mr. Jackson has also told us that two of his workers were taken by the police, arrested, or are they being brought in to help with investigation?
Yeah, you listen to the police spokesperson.
Yeah, I almost said the statement he made about homicide was childish, but then I caught my breath because he completed that they saw deep laceration and bruises. And so, but one thing missing, he said they visited the JFK, even though they may not be so necessary as far as the investigation going, whether the woman died at home already, but even if the laceration was so deep that she bled from the head, taking her to hospital was just a formality because in any case she would have given the ghost already. So I think with this kind and I watched a lot of forensic because I got a passion for criminal stuff. So if it were in this country, they will have to even investigate their financial record. Did Mr. Jackson pull an insurance on this woman? How much insurance is on this woman? It said that the woman's sickness, the seizure, convulsion, and all of this, at some point, has it become a burden to him that he can no longer carry and you want to get rid of his wife? So there are a lot of unanswered questions that need to be answered. All right.
Yeah.
Their financial record, any insurance information, and they just established a company in Liberia. Is that a motive that he can kill his wife so that he now, whether the woman invested the money and now he killed the woman and now he will own the business by himself and start going after some young lady girl again because the papi left balling? So these are all. I'm not saying that he has killed his wife, but these are all presumptions that we can raise that need to be rebutted, and that is why the investigation is necessary.
Sure, sure. My takeaway from the police spokesman is that first of all, he did not. He mentioned clearly that Mr. Jackson was cooperating. Now, but if anybody is cooperating with you and you carry heavily armed men to the house, it sends a different picture. And Mr. Samuel Jackson is politically sensitive. He's a politically sensitive individual. He's politically exposed. So if you carry heavily armed men to somebody who decide to cooperate investigation, is sufficient to make that person to change gear, to kind of put their political antenna and say perhaps these people are not sincere investigation. They probably want to entrap me and hold me. So anybody, with that political sensitivity can, raise their eye and, create it. Now, the spokesman was very, very clear when he referred to the election he had, but he did not wasn't specific about the bruises. They saw bruises, and he would not be specific about the bruises.
They're all over the
So
body.
the I think they really failed because, like you said, a lot of crime investigation. You the investigator does not carry a warrant. You go and ask this man is himself as a victim, a man who lost his wife, right? He's arguing that ambulance available. It wouldn't have taken a long time from place to place to two different places that they went. They couldn't find, ambulance. His concern was that there was a need to immediately stabilize the lady because he could have taken her out of the country. So he complained about ambulance. Now this man was grieving, or he presented himself as somebody grieving, right? And so in that state, investigator could have spoken with him, just as the media spoke with him. I don't think he was hiding anything at the moment. So the investigator could have spoken with him. But when you carry armed man to somebody who is politically exposed, who is politically sensitive, if you carry heavy armed men to their homes, there is a high likelihood, there is a for them to go into a protective mode. This could be the situation with Mr. Sam Jackson. I don't think if he was involved in any way with the murder of his wife, I don't think it is impossible at this moment for the police to be able to establish that, because Mr. Jackson has already made some statements to the media, and those statements you can connect. You are muted.
We agree. And I said, the first thing is what the police have to establish is motive.
Yeah.
Why would Mr. Jackson want to kill his wife? Motive. Is that for financial reason? Is it that the sickness of the wife, the consistent and continuous seizures of this woman has become a burden to him, saying he's already a 73 years old man and they get is so young, but now they get young, but then she's engaged with seizure every night of then. Is it a burden to Mr. Jackson that he just want to get rid of this lady and took this lady to Liberia because he know that when if he can make that crime in Liberia, not too much people will not buy anything as compared to if they were in South Africa or in the United States. Has he ever put an insurance on the woman that, okay, since we got it 500,000 insurance, I'm taking her to Liberia, we do my thing there, we get their certificate, I present it, I get the money. So there are a lot of unanswered issues that need to be answered. Initially, I listened to one of his he said that Gregory Coleman called him when this broke out that his wife passed. that they wanted to speak with him. And he told Gregory that, he hasn't slept for 30 hours and he wanted to take some sleep. And my man, when the police believe that you are a person of interest and they inviting you, you can't tell them, say you have not slept, so you want to go sleep.
But
No.
but
You,
Komekova, why would they want to invite me in the first place? The reasonable thing to do,
because you,
the reasonable thing to do is to go to the man's home where the crimes took place and see the
no, my man,
possibility, see the
sometimes the police
possibility of see the possibility of interviewing the man in his home, because
Yeah, my man, sometimes the
this man
police
is a
can be
grieving man.
funny. He said, my man, come over. Especially, I think he has a personal relation with Gregory. So Gregory said, my man, we need to talk, come over. All
Yeah,
right? So the man said he had not slept. But
but
according to the spokesperson, the man started up on a good footing. But then
yeah,
at some point, and then the fact of the matter, I think they sent the police because they believe that this papi can run away.
yeah, but I mean, they could have they have to have those kind there, because if the man is running away,
No, I
you
agree.
will see him coming from one or two locations, so you can be to those places. I mean, we've been around for a very long time. We know during the Taylor era, even during the Taylor era, the plain clothes officers will be around. Notice some of them. You question why this guy keep around this a very, very long time. But those were the people. Sometimes you are moving, you see one man moving in every direction that you move in. So those were the said. I don't think that the guys could not achieve what they wanted to achieve. They had deployed plainclothes
But,
officers.
but comrade, and that is why I would advise, if for any reason Sam Johnson comes across this video or the podcast, I would suggest to him, let him find a good team of lawyers, that he should now even stop talking to the press. He doesn't have to grant anybody interview. Okay, he just now need to have a team of lawyers and cooperate with the police. And if for any reason the police may believe and think that Saint Jackson he has murdered his wife and want to prosecute him, all of these could be part of the evidence that his team can use in the court. All right. So any evidence that may be adduced as a result of not obtaining a warrant when the crime was not immediate, when there was no exigency circumstance and police invaded that place and abduced, that would be thrown out in the discretion of the judge. So if they want to spoil their own case, it's good. Let them spoil the case. But all Sam Jackson needs is he needs a team of good lawyer now, and stop talking to press people. Stop talking about his wife death, because now there is suspicion that he has committed a crime and he's a person of interest.
And another thing that has happened is that people have taken the photo of the lady,
Mhm.
and they is displayed the dead body, and it's being
That's bad.
displayed all across, and the lady is naked. The man
That
said
is
the
bad.
man said the lady was naked. Apparently, she had just come from the bathroom. The man said the lady was naked,
So who took the picture?
and they took the picture at the hospital.
Who
Like,
did that?
Liberia is so politically tense.
Who
Liberia
posted
is
that
so
picture? That
politically
person.
charged, to the extent that people, uh, just will not stop at anything to abuse the dead. So this kind of situation can actually anger people. Uh, Mr. Jackson is being treated like he's guilty. He's guilty until
Absolutely. Which
proven
is bad.
innocent. Yes, a lot of statements going around. I even saw somebody posted the environment, claiming that where the photos were taken, similar to Samuel Jackson home. And I saw one of the photos, the ceilings were not looking in. There are two different type of ceilings. I just passed over it. But people are speculating in every direction. But I think from my point of view, the police didn't do well, because if they had gone to Samuel Jackson,
Mhm.
uh, in a state of his grief, he can't a grieving man to come to the police station. The police have not been through the situation, so they have more energy. They could have walked
No, my man, you can.
to
In fact, my
his
man, that
house.
one that both I disagree with you. I
Yeah,
know
I mean, you
the
can you
authority.
can
Yes,
disagree with me, but myself,
the
I usually
authority.
myself I can watch this video too. Most
The,
time
the
people
authority. The
because
authority. The
people
authority will. They can invite you to the set to the station. They don't. So they can come. They can come to you, but when they want to interview you in deep, they will take you to the station so they can
that
have a
means
conversation.
that means they have already finished doing their preliminary and they have established something. But sometimes sometimes comrade, if you watch investigation, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes they go to one home more than 5 times, asking the spouse of the deceased question. You know, they ask the spouse of the and then they will connect all of
Mhm.
those things and invite you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, most time when they invite you, they're going to arrest you. But calling this man to go for uh, you know at a, an odd hour or whatsoever, or after he has been grieving
Mhm.
for a very long time, and he might just say to you, "Oh, let me rest, and then I'll kill you." And then the next thing he sees is a group of heavy. I think they didn't do
That's true.
well. They didn't do well.
That
Liberia is so
people.
politically polarized, and people have to manage a situation. You got to achieve what you got to achieve. The rule of law cannot be compromised, but you don't have to uh, carry on with any kind
Well,
of
the
political
the
grandstanding. You
the
don't have to please
posting
your patrons.
the posting of people, they, I think our society needs the legal education. Nobody. I saw that the same thing my man they did. One of the priests passed away. The other one was still in hospital. Somebody just took the two priests pictures side by side and just shoot it on Facebook, running with the news. Our people need to stop. You have no authority to post somebody dead person's photo. You are not the family person. If you are opportune to see that place, don't post the photo. It's not you who have the authority, because those things could create what we call intentional infliction of emotional distress. And you can be sued for that, for causing that person emotional distress. They can take you to court. It's
Yeah,
not your place to go and post somebody who family member or wife or something pass away, then you running away because you were opportune to do it. Sometimes you see somebody who was involved in an accident, you take that whole thing because you were privileged, then you post the whole. That's not correct. Our society needs to change. If anybody posted Mr. Jackson's wife picture naked, that person doesn't respect themselves. Why would they do it? Why? So either way, my man, because we are more than 1 hour. Either ways, I think the thing is that Mr. Jackson at this level, whether it is politically motivated, whether he did the action, whether the police in the right to investigate, even though they believe that a crime has been committed, they want to investigate. All we can encourage Mr. Jackson to do, the state is, has the authority to investigate murder. They said it's homicide. It's no more, it's no more that the person just died now naturally. It's homicide now. Somebody killing somebody. So now they want to investigate, and Samuel Jackson is the person of interest. Let him hire a team of lawyers to cooperate with them. The missteps from the police, it shouldn't be his concern. Those will be the evidence to gather. So when you go to court now, you produce this evidence. These people came to my house without a search warrant. They said a crime was committed. They came and did X, Y, Z. The first thing they brought bunch of police with the videos, and they instill fear and intimidation and all of this. So even under that kind of situation, you can say something that would not that may not likely be admissible in the discretion of the
Mhm.
judge. So I think the best he can do now moving forward, let him stop talking, let him not take any interview. The one he did is enough. Let him just work with his lawyer and get through this thing.
Here's that's exactly what he can do right now because there is too much tension and too much hostilities. There are reasons to be afraid, and the Liberian National Police needs to undergo reform.
Absolutely.
The Liberian National Police needs to undergo reform. When I was at the Governor's Commission, I had an encounter with Gregory Coleman, and he was when we were working on the police reform law.
Yeah, and you came to the meeting that time when you were deputy.
Yeah, he was commissioner,
Oh, you were commissioner. Okay,
IGM.
okay.
So, uh, but he was pushing for an independent, credible
Police.
police. We all know that most times the police are thought to be regime police.
Absolutely.
And the reason is just simple. Another administration comes to power, they obviously just going to take Gregory Comer from that position, give the
Mm-hmm.
position to Gregory Comer's deputy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give the position to somebody who is coming from outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and there is absolutely nothing that prevents president from doing so.
Mm-hmm.
So the police act that was finalized did not create all of those net, all of those breaches and barricades to make the police more or less independent and insulate from partisan politics lineage. So there are people who are currently lobbying now to become police director administration.
Mm-hmm.
And Gregor Coleman himself have joined the Unity Party in their fight against the CDC to become
Mm-hmm.
police directors. So most of the time, our police directors are mostly
Yeah,
political and professional.
absolutely.
And when you have a police who is more political and professional, then it's difficult for us to see how they can be unbiased, how they uh, in terms of fairness. And this what is the dark shadow is hanging over the police now. I hope somebody can try to uh, institute reform. Somebody from the legislature can really take on that to the reform that will actually make the police very independent, because the police should be available to the legislature as well. So an independent police can also cater to the legislature without being heavily influenced by the executive. But
I mean, the
this
legislature said they get the regime speaker. What good thing they can do now, my man? They
yeah,
get regime speaker.
I mean, because every time we hear regime police, regime police, regime police, that thing is not going to stop. It's not
Absolutely.
going to stop. It seems like we centralize the police. In fact, everyone they
Yeah.
can get their police. You know,
Absolutely. That's true.
yeah, because we don't need regime police. We don't need regime police.
No,
Yeah,
no.
and there are people from this, maybe we'll have to spend some time talking. There are people from the police who have been there for a very long time, but they see politicians, people who are politically favored coming to hold position.
Yeah,
There is no
absolutely.
merit basis.
No, no merit
No
base.
merit basis. That is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Even this guy, the police spokesman, he
Mm-hmm.
just replaced another lady
Yeah,
who
the
was
lady,
supposed to be
yeah.
police.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Because
guy came from outside. He wasn't in the
okay,
police in recent time. Now,
you
how can
see,
somebody come from outside and just join the police and become police spokesman? I agree he was police spokesman before,
before.
but if you left the police, you're not in
Mm,
line. So I
you
bring
see,
somebody from outside and then they occupy position. It means the
that's
police
so
not
sad.
organized. Yeah.
That's true.
So just wrap up now, come here and then
Yeah, I mean, thank you both. I mean, it was a nice time spent together. I understand all of the issue with the police, their presence at the premises of Mr. Jackson. I think they should have just sent 1 or 2, 3% from the crime scene, from the crime services department of section of the police to go and speak with Mr. Jackson. And from their interaction, they could still invite him to the police station and have a conversation with him. But to send heavily armed people just for a man who wife passed away, and because you think he's a person of interest to deploy police of that amount, I don't think it's gonna. It gave the thing as politically driven,
yeah,
and it takes away the professionalism and the objective. If you're working with the South African government, the embassy, and people think that there is a potential, there was a potential, homicide in the death of that woman. I think it's not a it's not bad to investigate that, but you have to approach it with professionalism. 2 or 3 guys from the police crime services who have gone there say, Mr. Jackson, we're here to talk to you. And if he refused to talk to them, they could go to the court, and get a warrant to the magistrate office, magistrate court, get a warrant, and then serve the warrant on him to search and see what they could find. Even if they actually clean the blood is not clean. If they use what they call luminite and spray it there, they will see the blood. They can still investigate, but to have this amount of police to go to the main place too, I don't think it was overreach. I don't think it was proper. It's just to demonstrate power, and that doesn't call for it in the investigation of a crime. The man didn't. The man that just one man is not armed. He didn't pose any threat to you. why carry that amount of police on his premises? So yeah, but,
I want, I
to end,
want mentioning his age.
yeah. 3 years
Even
old, man.
every police officer,
Yeah, just to end,
if I have my impression, I have my
I want
impression
to,
on
I want to go to jail, But just to end, I would encourage him to stop talking to press people now. Let him just find his team of lawyers that we deal with him in throughout this until this thing is fine, is gotten along with, So I let him, my sympathy to him. We are saddened by the death of his wife. We're sorry for that. Let him take heart. But at the same time, if the state won't have interest in investigating the matter, let him cooperate with them, or let him just get a team of lawyers and just forget about Facebook, forget about talking to press people, deal with your lawyers and see yourself through this. That would be my party comment, bro.
Thank you. This has been a very wonderful time sharing the Kaki Dialogue platform with you. Thank you to everyone who listened to this broadcast. We will be with you tomorrow with an edition of Kaki's Dialogue. Uh, this has been a wonderful time with you.
Oh, my man, you
Bye.
coming out tomorrow?